Ladies and gentlemen, we all understand now that a lot of employees from various organizations, they are working from home. And working from home is a new challenge, is a new way of working, a new way of life actually. Today we are going to discuss how can we get maximum benefit from working from home. So we are talking from the employee's perspective. When employee will be working from home, like remote working. So during remote working, how can employee do the best? Before we go ahead, we got to have some understanding of some statistics which we have, and that is number of employees who are working from remotely, that has been increased since 2005 by 140%. You can understand a huge number of employees are now working from home. 4.3 million people in the USA work from home at least half the time. And number of people who work from home has increased by 140%. We talked about this again. The small companies, that's very interesting. Small companies are twice as likely to hire full-time remote workers. So small companies hire more employees who work remotely. Why? Because they save their resources and employees work from home. And then by 2028, that's very alarming. By 2028, 73% of all departments will have remote workers. So people who will be working remotely, they will be a lot, like every department, every division, every section of the organization. And this actually indicates we got to understand, we got to take it serious that how we can take the best advantage of working remotely. 75% of the people who work remotely do so because there are fewer distractions. People think that when we go to office, there are more distractions. Some people think that when we go to office, we have less focus, more distraction. So instead, if we stay at home, we have better focus. 76% of the workers will be more willing to stay with their current employer if they could work flexible hours. So flexible hours, working from home. So this flexibility of work, that increases the commitment of the worker to the organization. Now, those employees who have to work from home or who have to work remotely, let's discuss what are the points they have to consider and how can they perform the best when they work remotely. First thing, if we have to work remotely, and we know that we have to work remotely more often, like 3 days a week or 2 days a week or the whole week, we have to work from, let's say, home. First thing is we have to create, we should create an area in our house that will work as an office. So that workstation will be like like we have an office in our offices, and this area, this space will have our computer or laptop or high-speed internet. Definitely our internet should be very reliable and high speed, because when we are working remotely, that's the only source we have to link with the outer world. Then if we need printer, we should have printer, some calculators. Those who are involved in a lot of calculations, they have to have some scientific calculators with them. So all equipment, all stationery, all equipment, and table and a chair and a quiet area, we have to allocate, which we call as a workstation. Then now we have an office, and now we need technology. If we know that we are an employee who have to work from remotely, we have to invest money on the reliable tool and technology. So reliable tool and technology are what? We have to buy a good computer, a reliable computer. We should have a high-speed internet. We should have Wi-Fi facility available. We should have speakers in case we have to have some conferences, some meetings. We need to have speakers, we need to have camera, and we need to have external drive, because sometimes we have to save our data on some external drive. All this we have to spend money to buy all these things, and the things that are reliable. Then come to next part. When we are working remotely, especially those who are working from home, they face a lot of disturbance when they are working there. Maybe disturbance by family member, maybe by the children. Sometimes some people have dog at home. We have to make sure that there should be minimum disturbance when we are working from home. And what we can do, we can ask our members not to disturb you. Tell them that this is my work timing now. I'm working. This is my office time. Don't disturb me. I don't want any noise around me. Don't send kids into my area. So this is one thing which we can do. And then when you have meetings, so when we are working remotely, we have to do a lot of meetings. And during that meeting, we need to have a special kind of focus, and we need to have no disturbance. And this is the time when we have to specially mention to our family members, look, this is my meeting time, don't disturb me, don't come close to me. And then inform your friends and relatives that you will call them back sometime when we are working. People call us, people want to talk to us, maybe a long chat or whatever. Because we are working remotely, this is our office time. So we have to tell to our friends and relatives, look, I'll call you back when I'll be free. This time I'm working. Then contingency plans. So in some areas, some countries, there is electricity issue. So they have power failure, no electricity, and we are working remotely. We should understand, if this will happen, how will my office run? So our office power, that should be guaranteed. So we should have a competency. We have a contingency plan. We should have some equipment which will ensure that we have power if there will be power failure. Then similarly, sometimes we have an internet problem. We have bad signals. We don't have reliable internet. We got to make sure, if there is no internet, how will I work, right? So for that purpose, we have to keep on saving our data into our computer or external drive. So in case there's no internet, we should have access to all information which we require to work for. Then, as we talked before, we have a lot of virtual meetings. A lot of meetings we do through online. We have people who are sitting in various parts of the world, and they are doing a meeting online. If we are a person who have to do this kind of things, we have to do what? First thing, download software in advance. All those software which will be used for the meetings, those software should be downloaded. Let's suppose you are using Zoom. You have to have Zoom downloaded onto your computer before the meeting starts. So it's not like the meeting is meeting start time and you are downloading that. It should be there. Skype should be there. And test those softwares before we start our meeting. Test if everything is working. You know all the important buttons. That you do it. Check it before you do it. And then your mic, because we have to speak, we have to listen. So we have to make sure that our mic is working properly, our speakers are working properly, our camera is working properly. All these things are working properly, and then we have to be ready for the meetings. And next part, that is some documents. Sometimes we need to have some documents which we will be referring during the meeting. So make all the documents ready on your table before you start your meetings. This is a very important part now. That is self-care. So people who are working from home, they have less chance of physical mobility. They might be lazy. There might be hygiene problem because they know that we don't have to go out of our home. So maybe that can be an issue. What I will suggest is what, like you go to your office, if you are working from home, first thing you got to do is take shower and get dressed. Dressed up neatly, nicely, like you are in your office. So your attire and your whole environment, that should be office-like. And then Pomodoro technique, that is a technique where we take gaps. We set a piece which is a small project. We finish that one, we have a break. So what we suggest is after around half an hour, take a 5-minute break. So you can just walk around, maybe have a cup of tea or maybe some water, or just stretch your body. After every half an hour, you have a little break. And then after 2-hour work, maybe 5 to 10 minutes walk. You might go out of your home and on the street, have a little walk, move your body, because this can damage our body if we don't move our body, if we don't walk around. And now we are about to close our topic, and that is logging off. We understand that we are in flexible office environment, and we are available 24/7, and we know which is the time slot where I do better, I work better. It can be early morning hour, it can be afternoon, it can be mid of the day, it can be even night. So you have to finish your tasks, and you can finish in your timing, the timing which you think you perform better during those timings. So when you are working remotely, use those timing to work better. And remember, you might be getting notification, you might be getting invitation, you might be getting emails throughout the day. 24/7 you are getting all these things. So what you can do is, you can make a habit of checking your computer from time to time, maybe after 2 hours. Even your office timings are off, but still check your computer after maybe 2 hours, just to see what is happening around. The reason behind is that tomorrow when you will start your day, you should be fully prepared mentally and physically that what are the new tasks I have. And then at some stage you have to decide, now I'm logging off, my office time is over now, my family time starts, right? Because we have to have this is a big issue, that when we are working from home, our family life and our office life, this start mixing up. We have to make it separate. This is my office timing, office work, office life. This is my family timing, family life. So these should be separate. All right, just have a quick review now. What we are discussing today is we have to work remotely because this is now this is the way organizations work. So we have to allocate an area which will be our office. We have to buy best equipment, reliable equipment that will help us work. We have to inform our family that this is my new way of working. Don't interfere, don't come close to me when I'm working. Don't make noise when I'm working. Similarly, you have to take your friend into confidence that this is my work time, I will call you later. And very important thing is our personal body. We have to look after our body as well. We have to know when we have to walk, stretch our body, have some water, maybe a coffee. So what we suggested is after 30 minutes, have a 5 minutes break. After 2 hours, maybe 10 minutes break. You can have a little walk, go out of your home, take fresh air, maybe natural light, and a little walk as well. And last thing what we discussed, that is we should know when we have to log off. So we should not be engaged into work for 24 hours. Rather, there's a time when we have to log off, and we logged off, and then we have start our daily life. And thank you very much for listening. Hope you will apply all these tips and tricks into your work life and get maximum productivity, maximum output from your work. Thank you once again.